Perfection's pretty easy if you've got lots of time. Finding the line of imperfection, that's the bit that interests me. Who wants to spend your life doing one perfect thing? That side. So it's just a question of whether it can fix into that ceiling or not. If I can't. My first response was really to the light and working with the space. And then if it was, the branches against the sides of the room, this is what I was meaning. At that point, I didn't know what I was going to be feeding off, really, what it was going to be. How can I explain what it was going to be, how it was going to fit into what it was going to be. The work is the oak branches, but it's on an oak floor. And the floor is very much part of the work. A reminder that this is a tree. And, there have been times when I've used materials and there's this sort of shock when people come in and see all these branches and they imagine that I've cut all these branches off trees and how could Andy Goldsworthy possibly do that, They're all wind-fallen. But that aside, the point being that whilst they would think of the tree when they see the branches, people don't think of the tree when they see the floor. And I hope that this will make them acknowledge the floor and the forest in the building and the building in the forest. Because you are in effect walking the trunk of the tree. What really I'm enjoying is these tall openings from one gallery to the next, kind of slices of the work. If you were taking a picture and you wanted to just show a detail without the whole place, just to get to the essence of the work, you get that in the spaces. You see the barbed wire, the oak passage, gravestones, and red clay wall. Sometimes you can dig the clay out of the ground and it's actually pure without any stones. But there's an awful lot of stones in this. And I've removed most of them whilst I was on the hill digging it. And now we have to get all the smaller stones out by making it into a slip and pouring it through sieve. We've got about 100 buckets dried. And then there's another nearly 50 buckets that needs to be laid out to dry. The older you get, the less sure you can be about what you're going to do, because you've got the experience to know you can figure it out. And the best solutions occur once you know what you're doing a bit. There is a point where you just got to go in there and find the solution by making the work. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to work with the building as it is, rather than try to change the building and work with it on its terms, because it's the building is very much part of the work. When you come in the front door, the barbed wire is very lyrical and flowing, and it looks like grasses or twigs, and quite pretty, you know, this sort of delicate, and people have thought of it like a carpet or whatever, which is really interesting when you've got the wool and the wire. And then as you get up to it, there's this, oh, it's barbed wire. So there's that kind of shock. And that for me is the British landscape, you know, that it often looks very pastoral and benign from a distance, but when you get up close, that's when you get to the thorny bit, the difficult bit, the challenging bit often. People are a very important part of the work, not as an audience, but as participants. You know, they will articulate this passage through this mass of branches. And then seeing a figure inside the reed maze, articulating that we're part of the land, we're part of this. It's very hard. It's about understanding the world around me. Once you make things and work with the land, you start to learn about it and your relationship with it. And nature for me isn't just outside the city, it's everywhere. It's such a powerful thing, nature. And to have an art that actually opens your eyes and mind to what's there, shows me what's there, is quite amazing. But instead of art being this sort of means of expressing yourself, it's been a way of understanding. Right, I better do a bit of work.